These are the stories topping the news. Diabetes health fair to be held today. Government will soon codify energy policy. And U.S. veteran defies law by feeding homeless. Good afternoon and welcome to ZIZ's Midday Newscast for Friday, November 14. I'm Kyla Berridge. Now the news in detail. Activities for World Diabetes Day continue today with free screenings at Independence Square. Public Relations Officer for the National Diabetes Association, Dr. Reginald O'Loughlin, said their goal is to get as much information as possible to persons who need it.
We know that diabetes is a serious problem, not only locally but worldwide, with over 380 million diabetics in the whole world who are trying to stay away from some of the complications. So what we hope to do tomorrow is promote the sort of information that is necessary to make diabetics more conscious of what they need to do on a regular basis.
The Ministry of Education has announced that stakeholders of the Bastyr High and Washington Archibald High schools have agreed to the ministry's proposed terms and conditions in relation to a shift system which will be implemented at the Washington Archibald High School come Monday. Minister of Education, Honorable Nigel Cathy, said the ministry's focus continues to be to ensure that students are in a safe environment which is conducive to learning. The St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party candidate for constituency number 7, Dr. Vance Gilbert, will open a new office in Tabernacle this evening. Dr. Gilbert said opening an office in his home village is an important step in ensuring all constituents have a fixed space where they can meet with him.
So we are certainly looking forward to stepping it up right there in Tabernacle, providing an office space and an environment where persons can come and interact with the candidates and lay their cards on the table and for any type of assistance that they will be looking for. We want to have a permanent place there in Tabernacle. Tabernacle is my hometown, and so it's always good to be able to serve the people of my village of Tabernacle.
Following the opening, entertainment will be provided by the Small Axe Band and regional soca sensation Mr. Killer, who is best known for the song Roly Poly. Dr. Gilbert will be joined by his fellow Labour candidates. The leader of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, the Right Honourable Dr. Denzel Douglas, is also expected to make a feature appearance at the event. In regional news, the government of Antigua and Barbuda is issuing the observance of CARICOM Energy Week to announce plans to enact new renewable energy legislation in a few weeks. A government press release stated that the move would come as part of a multi-pronged approach to its energy policy. The ABLP administration also announced plans to work with friendly governments and agencies to introduce renewable energy at government buildings. Producers and service providers of farmers' cooperatives in St. Lucia held a forum on Wednesday to address the many problems confronting these organizations. We hear more in this report.
According to officials at the Ministry of Agriculture, Wednesday's forum was a follow-up to the needs-based assessments conducted in August to provide the requisite support to farmers' cooperatives. A wide cross-section of primary cooperative societies attended the latest deliberations with the objective of establishing an interim body to advance the interests of the various groups as a collective.
So we have all the primary cooperative societies, agricultural cooperative societies here today, from the bees to the florals, to the agricultural co-ops, to the farmers co-ops. So all of them are here today, and we're hoping to form that secondary body, which will assist the primary societies in the attainment of their objectives.
The next step will be the establishment of bylaws and meetings with agencies, including local authorities, international aid groups, embassies, and other entities. Officials say the ultimate goal is to source funding for the work plans and projects of these cooperatives.
The next phase is for the secondary body now to establish its own developmental plan. They will have to interface with the Ministry of Agriculture, other non-governmental agencies, regional agricultural agencies, maybe other diplomatic people, to see how they could get funding to fund some of the programs that they will develop.
Internationally, a 90-year-old war veteran in the U.S. is at the center of a fierce debate about homelessness. Arnold Abbott has been feeding people on a beach in Fort Lauderdale for years, but a change in the law has led to him being threatened with a 60 days of jail time. We hear more in this report.
In Florida, he's known simply as Chef Arnold, but this 90-year-old war veteran is now making international headlines.
Ladies first.
For decades, he's been feeding the homeless of Fort Lauderdale through his organization Love Thy Neighbor, and for Arnold Abbott, it's an act of charity.
We serve fruit salads, we have cookies, cakes, drinks.
But now he's facing arrest and fines under a new law against feeding the homeless in public places. His operation's been closed down twice since the new law was brought in, but despite the warnings, Arnold says he won't stop.
I spent 2.5 years in combat as a combat infantry in World War II. I knew what I was fighting for then. I know what I'm fighting for now.
So-called quality of life laws are now commonplace across the US. Hundreds of cities have introduced laws that ban things like laying down in public spaces or sleeping in cars, rules that critics claim criminalize the homeless.
During the Depression, what did? We fed the homeless. We fed the hungry. Why not put God in your heart and feed these people? These people are hungry.
But city officials here say the new laws aren't designed to criminalize the homeless. They claim they simply want to feed people in safe and sanitary conditions, and have even offered Mr. Abbott an alternative location. But he's been feeding people on this beach for 20 years and doesn't want to compromise.
There has been controversy in Colombia after an indigenous court sentenced 7 FARC fighters to prison terms. Families of the Nasa tribe are now worried that the rebel group will retaliate. We hear more in this report.
With a simple shout and a show of hands, the crowd of indigenous NASA sentenced these teenage FARC rebels to decades in prison. The accusation, the killing of 2 tribe members who were stopping them from putting up banners. There was no defense attorney, and there will be no appeal. Hernando Meza, NASA leader, says that while difficult for outsiders to understand, this is a viable form of justice.
The community applies the justice here, and sometimes the sentences are very hard and serve as an example to those who commit a mistake. We believe the community as a whole is wise.
The Nasa tribe has been in the crossfire of the country's conflict for decades, living an uneasy relationship with both the military and the rebels operating in the territory. They have the right to apply their justice and enforce it with 900 unarmed indigenous guards. But results have been limited. 8 members have been killed this year alone. Evidence of the ongoing conflict are quite easy to find. These houses were destroyed by a FARC car bomb, while the town's police station is really a bunker, which policemen rarely leave, fearing sniper attacks from the surrounding hills.
And now the weather. Today is expected to be partly sunny. Temperatures will reach a high of 30 degrees and a low of 24 degrees. Sunset this evening will be at approximately 5:36 p.m. That's it for ZIZ's Midday Newscast. Join us at 6:30 and 7 p.m. for the evening news. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carla Barrage.